time to start the show. Off the top rope, 4-figure leg lock. Ric Flair with the chest chop. Haters wonder why I never tap out. A young king like DeMarcus. Undertaker with a coffin. Choke slam so often. Stone Cold Steve Austin. Man, the boy keep flossing. Man, the boy keep talking.
Hello everybody, welcome to another edition of Wrestling with Things. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel at Wrestling with Things and like the Facebook page at Wrestling with Things for all sorts of episodes and conversations on the sports and entertainment world. I am David Joseph here with Alvin Alumba, University of Maine alumnus and Boston Celtics devotee, and joined by Sammy Joseph as usual. And guys, finally, like my man The Rock said, finally, Kawhi is out of my San Antonio Spurs. And Alvin, man, I want your insight on this trade. What's your reaction to this trade for both teams? Let's start with the Spurs this time. You know, we talked briefly about it, but let's talk with the Spurs side. How do you feel DeMar DeRozan and Jakob Poeltl will contribute to the Spurs?
Well, DeMar DeRozan can still be the man on this team alongside LaMarcus Aldridge with the legendary coach Popovich. I think if DeMar DeRozan was to get traded, the Spurs is a great place for him. He needs a coach like Popovich to really just like elevate him, you know? And yeah, playing with LaMarcus Aldridge, he's still very productive. I think was he an All-Star last year?
Yeah,
he was an All-Star last year. Both of them were All-Stars last year, and LaMarcus Aldridge can repeat that season. Yeah. So I mean, like, I think it's good for both sides. But if we get a Kawhi, like a healthy on the Raptors. A Kawhi, like a healthy Kawhi, Raptors won the trade.
Yeah,
Raptors.
Of course, they got the superstar.
They got the superstar. Whoever gets a superstar in any trade usually wins.
I don't think they won this time.
The Raptors?
This time, yeah, I don't think they won this time because if the guy's sitting there, he's gonna cry like a little baby saying, "Oh no, I don't want to be here. I only want to play in LA." Then you know it doesn't work that way because you're not giving us your full 100% effort.
Because Kawhi, all of a sudden, Kawhi is the only guy in the world. People like you, me, and Alvin, and even our camera guy Stanley, we work our jobs wherever we hustle, and we do what's asked on our task. But this guy is the only guy in the world whose job, no, I don't want to go there, I want to go there. I don't want to do this task, I want to do that task. Or else sit.
Yeah.
He's the only guy.
He's already completely shutting them down, so he's out of the whole equation. You know, he's threatening to sit out another season. It's going to be Boston, Philly, Eastern Conference. He's totally out of the picture.
You know, I got a few, I have some agreements with you guys, but I have a few unique takes of my own. I do think Kawhi Leonard's a superstar, so if you're doing a trade, the team that gets the superstar really does benefit. But we got to keep in mind that this guy, he's not an injury-prone player, but he hasn't been the healthiest guy over the course of his career. And now he's been sitting out. Now he's been sitting out with this bruise for a year and some change. I don't think he's gonna be the world beater, Finals MVP Kawhi right away. But Alvin, I agree with you. If he's motivated and happy, and the guy we know he can be, he could take the Raptors against the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals like that. The question is, will he be those things? Will he suck it up and be like, I'm going to make the best of a bad situation and do the best I can for the Raptors? Now, my Spurs, I'm okay, and I think they won in their own way. DeMar DeRozan's a proven guy. People like to make fun of his jump shot because it's a three-point lean. He's not a three-point shooter, but if there's a guy who could help him up his percentage a little bit, it's Greg Popovich, because they pass the ball, they space the floor. And Jakob Poeltl, I think they could turn him into a borderline all-star, believe it or not. He's 7 foot tall, he's 270 pounds. He got over, he came off the bench, he played about 21, 22 minutes and got over 100 blocks over the season. That's more than Serge Ibaka, who starts over. He loves to defend. So we got a defensive anchor. He's 23 years old, still under 25. So I think they both ended up well. Let me throw this at you two. I'm going to throw it at you first, Sammy. Do you think it's a possibility, forget the injuries for a second, do you think it's a possibility we could see Kawhi Leonard be a product of the system and a system player? Because we've seen guys leave Pop and not be the same shooter or player. So Pop gave Kawhi Leonard a shot. Chip England, the shooting staff, They gave Kawhi Leonard their shot. They improved it. They improved Tony Parker's shot and made him somewhat of a shooter. These guys didn't have these tools in their repertoire when they weren't coddled by Pop. Do you think that could play into his Raptors
I wouldn't go as far
performance?
as saying system player, but I think he's definitely a one.
Not even a little bit of a fall off due to the no Spurs system?
Because put it this way, what if he actually did go to LA the way he wanted to? I think he would definitely have an MVP caliber season.
Sure. What do you think about that? Do you think there's any possibility Kawhi might be a system player? Again, I give him the benefit of the doubt, but we've seen this happen. We've seen it happen with the Boston Celtics and Isaiah Thomas. And ask yourself, would a guy like Jaylen Brown, who's a possible superstar in the making, be like the way he is? Would he be on this high of a track if he was on the Hornets or the Hawks? It's Brad Stevens that makes him a blue chipper.
Yeah, Brad Stevens, he definitely gets the best out of his players. Players that play for Brad Stevens, they play together.
Mm-hmm.
So,
exactly.
I mean, like, the thing is, though, with Kawhi, when healthy, he's a top 3 player in the
Absolutely.
league. So, I mean, you can't really, like, I wouldn't go off and say he'd fall off if he played for any other coach due to, like, the Spurs system being his kind of system. I think he would be Kawhi anywhere. As long as he's motivated and as long as he's healthy.
So.
I think Kawhi is literally up there with KD and LeBron.
As long as he gets what he wants.
Gets what.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really how he is.
Apparently he likes Toronto. Well, apparently that's what his camp is saying.
They're saying he's warming up.
Yeah, he's warming. So it's like it could.
We'll see.
You see what happened to Paul George?
We'll see. I think I think if there's someone who could convince him, it's a great GM like Masai Ujiri, because he's an intelligent Have Danny Ainge, R.C. Buford in the Spurs, and Daryl Morey on the Rockets are probably the top GMs. If there's anybody who could sway him, and Drake, don't rule out the Drake endorsement factor.
That's Drake right there, man.
He can make
some
you
bonus.
Why priceless is the country? We don't even like.
Nah, he definitely heard Scorpion.
And that,
I don't think so, man. I think he listens to Taylor Swift.
Oh my goodness.
And if you think the Raptors made out better in the trade, or if you think the Spurs got the better end of the deal, let us know in the comment section. Get involved in the conversation and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Rustling with Things.